You know that I like my music on this day in music history, and we've talked about that. This is an interesting one today. I don't know where you land on these guys, so I'm curious to get your take. On this day in music history in 1991, Nirvana, however you say it, appeared at the OK Hotel in Seattle where they played a new song, Smells Like Teen Spirit, live for the first time ever. Other local bands such as Mudhoney, Tad, Mother Lover Bone, and Soundgarden all appeared at the club, which has now been turned into a residential property. Where do you land on Nirvana? That's why we're good for each other, because that's exactly what I would have said.
Yeah, like I understand they've got a cult following. I appreciate that, but it's just another one of those examples when you die young, people make you just get elevated. You know, like I don't know. They're fine. You know, I don't know. I probably know a half dozen of their songs or a dozen of their songs because they're real toe tappers, but I couldn't name a single one of them other than the one you just named. Like, I don't know the names. I don't know. I'm not a huge music guy. I was more into garbage rap, like, growing up. Like, I like Beastie Boys are my favorite group of all time. And
really?
So, yeah.
You know what? It's too bad the one guy died, because that would have been, let's say, over the last 10 years, that would have been a really good group to kind of see later. Like, hey, they're coming back out on a tour.
100%, and like I'd put DMC, Run DMC in the same category. Like these were the groups in my formative years when I fell in love with music, and I remember seeing Run DMC live, Beastie Boys live, and Two Live Crew, and all these junk. Like, you know, I don't want to lump those in together, but DMC and Beastie Boys touring together now would be massive, and for people like you and I, yeah, they'd sell out every massive stadium in the world.
You know. We could throw in there. I don't even know if he'd be the opener though. But we'd just do a full day festival then, and we'd go LL Cool J.
Oh yeah.
And Public Enemy.
Oh my God! All in the same era. You nailed it. I could do that.
I have all those CDs. If you ever come over, we'll put them on my Alpine and we'll cruise around.
Do you still have the CD holder in your car? You have that on your visor?
I got it for Christmas, one of the visor ones. Yeah, hold on. Grab that one there. What is that? Eric B. and Rakim. Or no, grab that Third Base. Remember Pop Goes the Weasel? That was their only song.
Oh my God. Paid in full, Eric B. A lot of my friends call me B. Eric B. From Eric B. and Rakim. It's just ridiculous. I'm not proud of it.
What about the Fushnikins? Do you remember those guys?
No, not familiar with it.
Ring the Alarm. Maybe that was just a Sasky thing. Eric B. or Rob Bass, DJ Easy Rock.
Oh, It Takes Two is a top 5 song of all time in my books. And so recently, this is kind of interesting. Friends of ours come to our cottage every year, and they brought a book about 3 years ago, a book of lists. And they put their top 100 songs of all time on it. And the idea was then my wife and I would put our top 100 songs of all time and then start a new list, like could be top 10 chocolate bars, could be anything we wanted, hand it back to them, top 50 movies, and then they would fill in theirs, and then they'd come up with the next topic back and forth. It's kind of a lot of fun, but that's the first time in my life I've ever done like a top 100 songs. And it's an interesting, if anyone's ever done that, top 50, top 100. You can really sink your teeth into it, and you're always coming up with, I forgot about this one or that one. But It Takes Two by Rob Bass, DJ Rock is top 5 or 10 in my life. But maybe the number one song in my life, and this is so most people cringe and go, "You're a loser," but maybe
Give me a hint. Let me guess. Let me guess. Give me a hint.
It's a Canadian rapper.
Maestro Fresh West.
Let your backbone slide.
Let it slip, let the rhythm rip while the lyrics leave my lip, ladies and gentlemen, kids of our ages. Oh,
kids of all ages.
He laughed so hard. Okay, there. Where are you, by the way? That's not your house.
I'm at the Dome. There's a long day here, garbage bag day at the Saddle Dome. All the players, we trucked through 22 players and the GM and the coach, and not a single interesting thing came out of it. I got to be honest, not a single interesting thing.
So don't read your articles?
Craig Conroy. Yeah, well, no, yeah, I don't want people not to read my article, but like, I just filed a column. The only interesting thing I come up with is people in this market have craved this organization to finally just say, we're not doing short-term deals anymore. It's all about the long term. Like, it's always about every year. It's like, well, let's regroup and try to make the playoffs next year. And finally, the GM is saying, and his actions will speak louder than words, but he's saying it's anything we do from now moving forward is long term for the next 10 years. So no, we're not doing anything just to try and get into the playoffs next year. And so I think that's music to a lot of people's ears, because for 30 years I've covered this team. They've never exhibited patience ever. They've never thought long term. It's always, what are we going to do to get into the playoffs next year? And so if they actually follow through on their, on what most people want them to do, which is long term, it'll be a refreshing change for this organization.
Okay, before we get into our super draft, and I know you haven't had a lot of time, so that'll even make it more fun. I need you to regroup. We're going to pull up the picture. We last week it was bad purchases that we've all made clothing wise. I bought a leather jacket in Boston with fur around. I brought it home. My wife was like, "What? I never wore it." I ended up giving it away. I brought this up the other day and I showed her the picture that you said, because you brought up a hoodie. Where did you buy? Take us through the story again where you bought this hoodie as we pull the picture up.
Well, there's a place in town called Espy where I get most of my casual clothing, some dress clothing, but mostly casual. And I go crazy in there every year. Every fall, I go nuts and refresh I'm a big clothes hound, right? I just love dressing well. And this was kind of a last minute addition when I popped in to pick up all the altered pants that I bought. And I'm like, oh, that is friggin' gorgeous. And it's $150 for this hoodie. It's got paisley. It's mostly brown. I don't wear a lot of base brown. It's kind of an old man thing to wear. And I think it's really funky. And I wore it in my family's holiday in Cabo a lot. And my family came clean on the fact that they think it's the ugliest thing I've ever worn in my life. So I totally disagree. I think they're crazy, but whatever. When I left to go away on a 2-week trip with the Flames, I put it in the one frame in our house with a framed jersey. It used to have like a Olympic jersey signed by Iggy and Sidney Crosby. I took it out and I put my hoodie in there, which they just showed on the broadcast there. And I waited for my family to react, and react they did. They were disgusted, but they did admit it was kind of funny. And you said you'd pull the same sort of move, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. When I told my wife the story, I said, and I told them, and she goes, "That sounds like something you would do." And I'm like, absolutely. Yeah. While listening to 90s rap music, I would have been putting it in a frame. So, oh man, that's an all-timer. And I don't think it looks that bad. People that aren't watching the stream, you don't see it. It's not a bad looking tarp. It looks like breathable. Like you could wear it when it's not super cold. It's kind of like a fall. Yeah.
I was bringing it on the road when I'd go on road trips with the Flames, and you can't go into an arena in the U.S. like even when we're in California, Florida, like wearing a short sleeve shirt. It's freezing in those arenas, right? And I got to go in for morning skate and all this. And that was my go-to top. And none of the players said anything, but now that I think about it, maybe the entire dressing room was mocking me behind my back. It wouldn't be the first time. I had a pair of, I don't know, a couple of pastel colors. We'll say they're lavender jeans, okay? Lavender jeans. I know that's not pretty typical, but like I said, I like to think I'm fashion forward. I wore them into the dressing room one day, and my colleague, Ryan Leslie, took a photo of me talking with one of the players and put it on the broadcast to outright shame me, talking about how it must be Easter because I was wearing nothing but pastels. And I haven't worn them since. It shamed me. So maybe those will be coming to a frame near you.
No, send us. I said a suit, or maybe send us something so we can hang it up with all of our jerseys in the Sports Cage studio, and it'll stand out, and people will come in and go, oh, yeah, because people always come in and go, it's cool in here. Yeah, that's a lot of jerseys, and they go, oh, Blades, Yorkton, Notre Dame, Bedard, some local teams, and then they'll go, what's with the suit? And be like, that's Eric Francis.
That's so funny because the PR guy here, I give him my old suits, and I just brought him a bunch of suits today because we're similar size, and I never know what to do with old suits. Like, we're lucky in my business. Every year I get 4 or 5 new suits, and they start to add up. And what do you do with an old suit? I was thinking about starting a charity where we give it to people who are trying to get jobs or go to interviews, but nobody wears suits anymore, so I don't know. Like, you know.
Your wife will end up taking the hoodie. She'll put it in the bag.
Yeah.
The donation bag.
Well, that's going. Like, I'm a hoarder, so my wife, she's always throwing stuff away without me knowing, or at least she claims she does, and she says, well, you don't know what's missing. And it's like a little game we play. It's probably the biggest tension point in my marriage. We don't ever argue, but that is one thing that drives her nuts. So I just want to keep collecting stuff and cluttering my house.
My wife and I are both hoarders when it comes to clothes. So that's probably the worst part of our relationship. It's like I got to get rid of. Like, there's some shirts I'm never fitting again, but I can't let them go. That's right. Can't.
So you know the trick, right? So you read these things about decluttering in the New York Times and stuff. Every year at some point, like, could be January 1st or could be the end of spring or summer or whatever. Turn all of your hangers backwards, right? So you hang them backwards. And then at the end of the year, all the ones that weren't turned the other way because you wore them, you got to throw them out. Like, it's a great idea. Yeah. But I tried it, and I still am not throwing any of them out. Like, so, nice try, New York Times, but you don't really know what you're talking about.
Okay, it's the Kenaston Super Draft. Kenaston's a town about 45 minutes south of Saskatoon, so an hour and 15 minutes north of Regina. Since 1984, it's the Super Draft. It used to be in the hockey news, and that's how people would fill these out. Then they'd mail them back in. It's been got $80,000 up for grabs. $20,000 is first place. This isn't a joke. This is real deal. So I have 7 entries. Well, Sharky and I, who's on Thursday, Sharky and I have 7 entries. He muscled me into 2 on his own. Then the rest of mine I'm doing with contributors. So you and I are going to do one. It'll be Shinkaruk and Francis or whatever we can fit in. So we got to pick 32 players. Most points, it's pretty easy. I think we start with teams instead of just sprinkling teams that are going to be out in the first round. First and foremost, let's start in the East. Who do you think, when you look at the bracket, who do you think the 2 teams that are going to be in the Eastern Conference Final are?
Tampa is winning the cup. So
really?
Winning the cup. Yeah. Right.
Okay, well, let's start with their...
If we disagree, then we'll have to enter separate sheets here. But
I was hoping you were going to say Montreal.
I have to question the legitimacy of this pool, and I know you say it's historic, and I don't really want to throw shade on this thing, but they spelled Pittsburgh wrong. They spelled Penguins with a Q. They've got Detroit Red Wings in there. I'm not sure if they got the memo, but they didn't make it. Philadelphia's not on here. Again, I see holes.
No.
I see holes.
Because they put out the sheets so early that there's always the teams that were in the hunt that you got to cross off your Detroits. You got to cross off your Islanders, Columbus. Washington. Yeah. You got the missing the Flyers was an interesting one. No, but this thing's legit. Okay, so you want to go heavy Tampa Bay. When you say heavy Tampa Bay, do we take every single guy? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10 players. Who's injured for Tampa Bay, Colson? Tampa Bay Lightning injured players.
No, I'm not. You don't take all those guys. I don't know. Hey, I don't think I've ever won a playoff pool. I think there's just too much luck involved in the playoff pools. I like to sprinkle the love. I think it's Tampa Bay and Carolina in the East Final, and
like everybody.
And so, yeah, I know, right? So, news flash. But, I wouldn't mind throwing in the odd, Saber in there. Like, I try to pick the top scorer on several different teams. Like,
Okay, give me three guys from the Sabres you like.
Like, well, I like David Pastrnak with Boston, but I know they play Buffalo. So anyway, I don't like Tage Thompson's an absolute stud. So put him down.
Checking him off.
Rasmus Dahlin's going to pick up a ton of points.
Okay, taking him.
Yeah, and if I don't know, I wouldn't go too much deeper than that. I mean, I do like Zucker. He plays with. What
about Tuck?
Thompson?
Okay, let's take Zucker.
Tuck in there. No, take Tuck. Take Tuck.
Where's the bracket, Colson? You know what? I know you said you like Tampa Bay. And you'll have them winning the cup. I was going to say, if you wanted to go heavy Buffalo. Do you just want to go 3 or 4 Buffalo?
No, because Buffalo's going to play Tampa, right?
Okay, so then who are the Tampa guys you like? We got 4 Buffalo guys. Who are the Tampa guys? Kucherov, Getzel,
Hagel and Getzel. Don't touch Hedman. He's hurt, and he's just had a horrific season. Like, he might come back. Darren Radish has been their number 1 point guy. He's been phenomenal.
Well, he's going to touch the puck a lot then.
Yeah, He's going to get the puck a lot. He had a huge year. Braden Point is going to bounce back. He's one of the best playoff performance guys in the last decade.
Okay, we got 5. We got 5 there then.
5. That's good enough for me.
We got 5 there. Can we take one more Buffalo Sabre to make an even 10 out of the East then?
Sure, add Zucker.
Took him. Zucker, Tuck, Thompson, Dahlin. We got Doan, McLeod, Norris, Quinn, Samuelson, or Byram. Who touches the puck a lot?
I like McLeod of all those guys, to be honest. I know you didn't name him, but
I did.
My computer screen just went. I just ran out of battery from a long day here at the Dome, so I can't see the sheet anymore.
Okay, so we got 10 guys. Now who? Oh, this is where we could get. Who are the 2 teams in the West that we're going to take 5 from?
I think you win these pools by picking the big upset, and I think Edmonton's going to the final. I know that makes it's disgusting. I know. See, we're not going to agree on this, so we should probably just enter our own. Let's just enter our own. But for the sake of this exercise, I'm going with an upset. Look, Edmonton has the easiest ride to get to the final, the conference final. That's why you take them. That is a war of attrition that Colorado's got to go through in their side of the bracket.
You think Edmonton's getting through Vegas?
Yeah, I do. Edmonton's been playing without Hyman and Draisaitl. I'm assuming they're going to get them both back. I haven't had my head up to see what the latest status of Draisaitl is today or lately. I generally try to ignore that city and anything that comes out of it. But it hurts me to say this, that I think they're going through to the final, but they'll find a way to make their goalie stand out. Like, if we're taking Oilers, Evan Bouchard would be second only to McDavid, and you probably got to put Draisaitl in there because at some point he's coming back. Nugent Hopkins.
I don't know. I've never gone on one, but people that go on blind dates and and then they kind of go, this ain't going to work out. Let's or job interviews. It's like, so I think we're going to have to let you go, Eric. I like your taste in music, but I don't think you and I are entering a draft.
No, that's fair. You're going to go with Colorado, like the whole world's going to do. So
no, you know what? No, I said I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Okay, Edmonton Oilers. So obviously, one, Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, Bouchard, Hyman. If we're taking Nuge, okay, so there's 5.
Yeah.
Okay, now who's the other West team?
Well, I'm still game for taking Colorado. So.
Makar. Do you know what? They don't have Taves in there. Do you want to write Taves in, or do you want to go with forwards? We got Makar, McKinnon,
Lehkonen, Kadri,
Natchez. 4. Natchez makes 5.
and Nichushkin. We're taking 6 from those guys. I mean,
What about Taves? What about Devon Taves?
It's not a huge point guy. No, I would
6. Okay, now we got to sprinkle in just
Wyatt Johnston and Mikko Rantanen.
I like that. I'm going to agree with you on that. Wyatt Johnson,
Heiskanen's hurt.
Mikko Rantanen,
And Matt Duchene. If you're going a third guy, go Duchene.
Duchene. Okay.
I think this is terrible radio. You know my rule. No talking about pools with anybody who's outside of your pool. We're talking to your listeners, and they have to listen to us go through our crappy picks. Now maybe you would argue we're helping people with their picks. I don't know. But I don't know.
We're getting text messages, and we did yesterday with people saying, "You guys are missing out." But I think we're good. What about maybe putting in a couple of
Vegas?
So we got, yeah.
Eichel,
Marner,
and Stone. Those guys are playoff studs.
I'm taking Barbashev because I like him.
Okay,
4.
I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight about that.
I think we pretty much.
I would take Dorofeyev before I'd take Barbashev. But either way,
let's
I
take
want
him
you
too
to be
then.
happy.
But we're gonna.
Okay.
This is a stupid pool because we're losing somebody, but maybe they'll get a bunch of points because when Edmonton loses to Vegas, we're losing a bunch of Edmonton guys.
Yeah.
You really think who's playing goal for Edmonton?
I don't know, and I don't care. They're going to use both goalies like they do every year, and they're still going to get to the final. And I think I make the pick based on the fact that it's just nobody in Calgary wants that, and it just hurts, So if it's gonna hurt, at least profit from it. But Vegas does not impress me. I've seen them several times lately. I know they're capable of it. Their goaltending is as big a question mark as Edmonton's.
Okay,
Edmonton has such an easy ride.
You leave next Wednesday?
Yeah.
What time's your flight? Is it the red eye?
No, I'm leaving at 1:00 because I'm going through Toronto to Dublin.
Okay,
we can pre-tape something if you want.
No, what I was thinking, it would be a shame. What do we got? An 8-hour time difference in Dublin to here? It'd be a shame not to do a hit while you're there to get a lay of the land and everything. No,
I'll do it. Let's do it from Dublin. I'll give you the sports report from Dublin.
playing Maestro Fresh West in the background.
Oh my God! I think you'd be shot, wouldn't you, in Dublin if you were playing that?
No. You might start something. Have you ever seen him on Jerry D on Mr. D? Maestro Fresh West is the teacher.
So I turned 50 recently, we'll say. And I was going to hire him. I thought, you know what? I'm going to hire Maestro Fresh West. But what my concern was, he's got 2 songs. Like, where does he go for the third song? So I'm going to pay this guy. I'll pay him 10 grand, 15 grand. I don't know what he costs. I have no idea. Like, there's a good question for the listeners. What does anyone think it costs to bring in a washed up Canadian rapper with 1 hit? Like, is that 10 grand? And what does he show up with? Like an amp and a microphone? That's it?
For sure.
He stands on it?
For sure. Well, he's not bringing a band. He's not bringing a DJ with him. He could play.
How about background dancers?
He'd expect you to, if you want background dancers, you find some background dancers. Yeah, go down the belt line and see what you can track down and bring them. Okay.
That's right. I'd put on that hoodie and wear that, and I used to be a break dancer, so I'd spin on it.
Oh, did you have one of those boards? Did you take your board or whatever they danced on?
We always joked, like all these white guys in the Rockomatic crew in Mississauga, the mean streets of Mississauga. Our parents were always getting new refrigerators and freezers, so we had some sweet cardboard to practice our craft. One day I'll tell you the story about how we made our professional debut at the Cadbury Crunch Breakdown at the exhibition in Stampede, or the CNE in Toronto. and we performed. And right after us was a crew from New York. Our big move, these talentless white guys, our big move at the end was one guy did the worm, right? And we all pointed at him, and we thought we were really good. We go backstage, and the next up from Brooklyn, and these 8 dudes start spinning on their head as their opener. All 8 guys simultaneously. And the Rockomatic crew disbanded and never broke together again. A sad story.
And I know we're too old to try it now. When's the last time you honestly tried to do the worm?
Oh, God. That would ruin my spine. My golf game would be over.
I tried, I think I was in my late 20s, and we were all hot, we're drunk. And I tried doing it in my late 20s. I sacked myself so bad.
Oh.
I was on a
Of course you
commission
did.
for the rest. I'm like, what did we do this for? This is so dumb.
Oh, my God.
Okay, we're going to have to do one from Dublin. Maybe Wednesday I'll bring in Brent Cron. And then maybe Friday night in Dublin, you'll be, I'm sure, in good spirits. We'll bring you on for it then.
I love it.
Thanks. What's a sacroiliac?
What's a sacroiliac? It's like a backpack.
Rap-sack backpack.
Backpack.
You better listen to that on the flight.
Okay, I'll bone up on my backbone slide, and then one day we could have a rap battle if you want. But it's got to be all Beastie Boys. I know the words to every song. We'll have a rap battle, and it'll be the worst radio. It'll be worse than picking your hockey pool picks on the radio.
My go-to is crisscross jump for karaoke, so I can do that, and then you do Beasties.
You know, I saw crisscross at Wembley Stadium in front of 100,000 people. They opened for Michael Jackson, and those little buggers were talented. Both songs they had were really good. They wore their clothes backwards. Those guys would have looked good in that hoodie I wear.
What was the name of your breakdancing crew?
Well, when we performed at one time, we were the Rockomatic crew, but on the streets, we were known as the Funkomatic crew. Like 2 streets we were known. 2 streets knew us. That's it. Ridiculous. Losers.
Get some T-shirts made. Get T-shirts made for the fellas.
Well, because, again, you know, we could afford some sweet Puma slicks. Like we had these that was really the only thing we had going for us was we matched really well. Our phys ed teacher had an in with Puma. The first time Puma was cool, and then it went away for like 30 years, and now it's kind of cool again. God, I'm old.
And from Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
It's like, oh boy.
Lowest moment in my performance career, like by far. Until we did our pool today.
I'm going to, I don't know if I'm submitting this. So, yeah, I just had a text message and all it said was, that pool, be careful. So I might, but anyway. Okay,
yeah,
travels.
Did anyone else message anything today? We had solved nothing and spoken of nothing. This is as talentless as my breakdance crew.
Rockomatic crew coming at you live from Mississauga. Boom. Sam the Record Man.
Yeah.
All right. Travel safe. Listen to some 90s rap on the way.
Word. Peace.
Word to your mother.
Word to your mother. Yeah, exactly.
See it, Dolores. My mom's name's Dolores. Word to Dolores.
Word to Dolores. Peace.
See ya.
Out.